Hello, in this video we will discuss about the biochemistry of hangover after the consumption of ethanol. So the ethanol is the famous alcohol which that is formula is CH3CH2OH. So methyl alcohol can be added with the ethyl alcohol, but this is just simply ethanol. So remember one more important thing for your understanding. The ethanol is used for the dehydration. So remember, so here is the person who after the consumption of too much alcohol during the party or some other function. So too much alcohol will feel the foggy brain and the brain fog or fuzzy brain, and in this way a hangover will be occur, and this hangover will frequently and subsequently produce the urination due to the excessive amount of water will enter into the blood circulatory system due to the dehydration from the peripheral tissue into the blood circulatory system. So here is the hangover containing person, which that is the blood circulatory system. Ethanol will move into the blood circulatory system after the digestion or absorption from the digestive system. So where the more water are present, for example, brain contain more water as compared to the other body part, because the 90% water are present in the brain. So the brain is used for the normal function, excessive water. So the hydration is very important. So the water will be absorbed into the blood circulatory system from the nervous system. So the neuron will dysfunction and not judge, and cognition and integration and coordination will be damaged. On the other hand, ethanol will convert in the liver to detoxify into the form of acetaldehyde. And acetaldehyde, remember, this is a ketone, and this is very important, and this is used for the energy production. So the glucose consumption as a energy will be inhibited, so the glucose convert into the adipose tissue, but also it will convert into the glycogenesis if too much hard work will be lead to glycogenesis. So the dehydration will also lead to follow the sodium, potassium, and calcium imbalance due to the move into the blood circulatory system by following the water. So for nerve impulse non-regulation will lead to misjudgment, misunderstanding, and talking differently, and the motor nerves dysfunction. So that is all things will lead to dysfunction of the whole body during the consumption time. So here is the decreased antidiuretic hormone. Why? Because the excessive amount of water already present in the blood circulatory system will lead to urination, and when decrease the antidiuretic hormone lead to diuresis, and more urination will damage also the kidney and subsequently. And in this way, the alcohol absorb water to more from the tissue into the blood circulatory system. So, when water will move from the other peripheral tissue to dysfunction, not normal function of the peripheral tissue into the cell, so the cell will decrease the water retention, so the normal function will not occur. So, that is why during the alcohol consumption, the hangover time, so the water absorption into the blood circulatory system will lead to dysfunction of the peripheral tissue. But more and more, the blood circulatory system will fill the more volume of water, will lead to stretching of the blood vessel, as well as increase the blood pressure due to the increased volumes, but the decrease of the area. So the decrease of the area to lead to increase the volume will increase the blood pressure, and increase the blood pressure according to the Bernoulli's equation in the physics. So here I am drawing the bigger picture for understanding the biochemistry. Let's begin to understand. So here is the consumption of alcohol will move into the blood circulatory system. After move into the blood circulatory system, you should need to understand the blood circulatory system, the hypertension will be occur. After the hypertension, so the urination will be occur, lead to hypotension also occur, because the too much water will be excrete. But more and more you should need to understand the water will lead to excrete also the mineral, vitamins, as well as sugar lead to hypoglycemia from hyperglycemia. So the mitochondria here, and here is the liver cell, hepatocyte, contain peroxisome and microoxisome. Oxidative pathway occur in the peroxisome and microoxisome. So what is oxidative pathway? First of all, we should need on ethanol move and the ethanol dehydrogenase enzyme used to produce NADH more, so increase NADH, and acetaldehyde will increase, lead to decrease the consumption of sugar as a energy and store sugar into the adipose tissue. But here is the ethanol will be to move into the peroxisome will produce also acetaldehyde. So the too much acetaldehyde production. And on the other hand, here is the microoxisome, which that is catalase enzyme used in the peroxisome, while the microoxisome use the cytochrome 2E1, which that will lead to also produce due to the activity more to increase the reactive oxygen species, and NADPH used with the oxygen to produce water as well as acetaldehyde. So this acetaldehyde will move collectively into the mitochondria. So the loading of acetaldehyde will be more, will lead to dysfunction of the mitochondria. So here is the aldehyde dehydrogenase enzyme 2, which that is used and produce increase the NADH also. This NADH increasing to lead more ATP will lead to reactive oxygen species increase. So the reactive oxygen species can clear. Here is the acetate formation from this process. Also the acetate reactive oxygen species containing acetate also cause the damage of the tissue. And NADPH oxidase enzyme will increase the reactive oxygen species. But this excessive antioxidant can lead to clear this problem. But what that? Here is the cell. This is the cell basically contain plasma membrane. A bilayer of phospholipid will be damaged and membrane destabilized. And here you can see the DNA will be damaged. So the DNA will be damaged and we produce the reactive oxygen species will lead to damage the DNA and also mitochondrial dysfunction due to the reactive oxygen species excessive. So that this function will lead to apoptosis of the cell. The programmed cell death will not occur, but the necrotic cell death will be occur due to the injury of the cell, because water will be absorbed from the cell into the circulatory system. So acetone and acetaldehyde is very light molecule will be evaporate from the respiratory system. So that is why you can feel the alcohol consumer, which we can feel the smell from their breathing. So here, on the other hand, here the damaged cell will produce the inflammatory mediator, the interleukin 10 and interleukin 12, interferon gamma. This inflammatory mediator will interfere to the neutrophil, monocyte, natural killer cell, and Kupffer cell and hepatic stellate cell, which that will lead to increase the inflammation for clearance of the damaged tissue, damaged cell. So that is why the inflammatory response will be occur. So the body will go into the inflammation, and in this way the natural killer cell will kill the that cell which that is damaged, and macrophage is also activate from the monocyte proliferation. So the growth factor which that is also important. But the less consumption of the alcohol is not dangerous as compared to the chronic alcohol consumption as well as the hangover a stimulant. So here is the non-oxidative for non-oxidative process mean here is the ethanol will be enter and in this way into the liver. So the fatty acid is used to produce the fatty acid ester fatty acid is ethyl ester synthase enzyme used to fatty acid ethyl ester, and phosphatidylcholine synthase enzyme used to produce the phosphatidylcholine ethanol and the ethanolamine by the using of the amine group for using the major purpose for the function of the cell. So that is the some helpful but some damage thing. But That means the decrease of the glycolysis but increase the acetaldehyde lead to increase the energy, and acetaldehyde will be toxin more. So